I'm going to say straight away that the Pixel 6a is an excellent phone. It's so good that I am enjoying it far, far more than I actually thought I would. I have the phone on loan for a month from Mazillion, and you should check out them at the link below. But in this video, we are going to be discussing the downsides of the Pixel 6a, the things that you need to know before you purchase one. And there are a few. This is Grounded Tech, and as always, if you find this video useful, I would appreciate you sharing it about. Thank you. So first up, and probably the most important thing to know, is that the Pixel 6a is a very different beast to the previous Pixel A series phones. This iteration has the same beating heart as the Pixel 6 and the Pixel 6 Pro, and that is the Tensor SoC. This, of course, is a high-performance, flagship-tier chipset. There's huge positives that come with this, including features that otherwise wouldn't be there, as well as future updates that the phone wouldn't receive otherwise. But there's one downside, and that, for previous users in particular, will be battery life. Previous Pixel A series phones have tended to go with the Snapdragon 700 series, and while they don't have the performance of the flagship tier SoCs, they are generally more efficient and tend to give you better battery life. For instance, some people that were running the Pixel 5a could get upwards of 2 days off of one single charge. This isn't something that you will be able to do with the Pixel 6a. It's worth noting that as a fairly heavy user, I could get through a day on the Pixel 6a just fine. And that's with a mix of indoor Wi-Fi usage and outdoor mixed network coverage. And of course, often with plenty of camera usage as well. The phone does run warmer most of the time, but it's only really noticeable when you are gaming. So moving away from the SoC and onto something a little bit more controversial, the screen. Now, the issue with the screen that I have isn't the one that most people will be thinking of. The problem that I have with this is the brightness of the screen. It's a little dim. Now, I'm someone that would generally run their phone at around 50% brightness, and that tends to be on most phones. On the 6a, I'm having to run it at around 75% brightness or more. When you compare it to something like the Nothing Phone 1, which I also have, the difference is stark, and it's just a shame that Google just didn't put a brighter display in there. I know for those of you that are in the sun or just outside a lot, this can be more of an issue. And if it's important to you that you have a bright screen, this could be a deal breaker. There's one other downside to the Pixel 6a, not as serious an issue as the others. To be honest, it's an issue that you'll find with pretty much any mid-ranger that you buy these days, is that the headphone jack is no longer with us. Shock. If you get the 6a early enough, you will get the Pixel Buds A bundled with the phone. A lot of places are doing this right now. However, I would still like to see a headphone jack there. It's useful for people that are using wired headphones, obviously, but it's also good for microphone inputs and such. And when you've got a Pixel that's got very good video recording capabilities, it would be nice to have. But we got to sell more Buds, right? So just remember that you will need an adapter if you want to run your wired earphones or headphones. Or alternatively, you could buy a USB DAC if you've got some better quality buds to be using. We're still waiting on the first updates for the 6a. They are due to drop any moment, but we'll have to see how that goes in the coming weeks and months. But for now, this is still a phone that I can recommend to the majority of people. But however, as I say, if any of these issues that I've mentioned are a deal breaker for you, then you will be best to look elsewhere. The battery life trade-off for me is worth it because of the increased feature set. I think the features will be useful to a lot of people. But what are your thoughts on the Pixel 6a so far? I would like to hear from you down in the comments. If you did find this video useful, I'll have much more to come, so get yourself subscribed, and yeah, stay tuned. Stay safe, stay grounded, folks. I'll see you in the next one.